let me add this so that I can respond to both of them if you've not completed your thoughts on this one. Is there any part of the law, the Constitution now, that says the governor can reject the appointment of a chief judge?
Yeah, that's what I'm also saying. If you also read the judgment of Akambi, he took all of it. To start with, if you recommend to me that your colleague Suleiman is competent to be the producer of a program, that's a recommendation. And I decide not to give him the job. Have I contravened any law?
No, what I'm asking, because you said...
No, you're talking about my argument.
No, you still respond to that. You said that the NGC, there's nowhere in the law that is written that they can suspend.
Yes.
And I'm asking in the same vein, is there anywhere in the law also written that the governor can reject?
Okay, let me come in. You were in this country where Salami was suspended.
No,
I'm coming. It's not a recommendation.
It's about what's written first before the next one, isn't it?
I agree with you, but let's put it this way. In this country, Salami was in office. He was suspended. And the same NJC, on their own volition, recommended, published it in the papers, that he should be recalled. And that recommendation was sent to the president. And we waited till he retired. He was never recalled. And nobody said anything. And when it comes to Rivers State, all the issues are brought, and when illegal things are done, nobody makes reference to it.
I get that point, but it still hasn't directly responded to the question. Is there anywhere that is written here that the governor can reject, or are you saying that by innuendo?
No, let me correct you. In Rivers State...
No, it's not a question. Correct me if I quoted the wrong law. Have I quoted anywhere that is not right?
Is apt. But put it this way. You recommend to the governor to take something. That same process, in my state, 10 years ago, the NJC recommended that Justice Benson should be sworn in as a High Court judge. The governor then, Dr. Odile, His Excellency, refused that recommendation. And Justice Benson was not sworn in till he left office. It took, right when the Chibukereti Amici in 2007 or 8, to swear in Justice Benson to the office.
So you say there's a history?
There is a history.
Let me read this too for you. Section 271, 1 and 2. It says, the appointment of a person to the office of Chief Judge of a state shall be made by the governor of the state on the recommendation of the National Judicial Council, subject to confirmation of the appointment by the House of Assembly of the state. Then 2 says, the appointment of a person to the office of a judge of a high court of a state shall be made by the governor of the state, acting on recommendation of the National Judicial Council. Now we've seen that, one, I think that's where the case is hinged on the recommendation of the National Assembly, I beg your pardon, of the National Judicial Council. So if the governor is refusing, is it not taking upon himself the role of the House of Assembly of the state?
I also want to put it this way. The role of the House of Assembly is to receive a name from him.
But you say they can refuse it, and the whole thing ends.
See, he has a right to take a recommendation. And I think, to be fair to you, that it's also sub judice. Because when Justice Akambi was giving his judgment, it's also embedded there.
Okay, let's paint a hypothetical situation then.
Yeah.
If the State House of Assembly had been the one that said, no, we don't like this recommendation, and the governor did not say anything about it, wouldn't it have been out of place? Would it have been wrong?
I also believe that the way Rivers State is structured right now, would have still had people going on the street to say that we have no right to reject.
According to the law.
According to the law, it is right. We have a right to reject. The House of Assembly has a right to reject any nomination sent to it for confirmation.
So what then happens? I mean, I'm just trying to imagine that this had gone through, and then it had finally reached the House of Assembly, and they had objected to it. Would the process have had to start all over again?
Yes.
Why is it not starting all over again in this particular situation?
It's not starting all over because the House confirmed Honorable Justice P.N.C. Agobago as the Chief Judge of the state.
But only one name was sent to the governor.
Because Justice Akambi made a judgment, gave a judgment, where he did say that the NJC was wrong.
Was that judgment, I think, the governor, by that judgment, is he entitled to go ahead and appoint the Chief Justice?
He's never appointed. He's now sent the name to the House of Assembly, who in turn screened.
Bypassing the NJC.
That's what I'm saying. The court gave a judgment, and nobody's looking at it.
No, I'm looking at the judgment. That's why I'm asking. I'm asking if by that judgment, if the governor can now bypass the NJC and send a name to the Assembly.
Yes, you see, I want to be very fair. What went to court was the recommendation. What the court did was interpretation, which they have the right to. And they said, having looked at what was there, that the proper name to have been sent, that should be sent, should be that of Honorable Justice P.S. Agumago. And my argument is, we have this by a valid court who has given the judgment. Why not allow it to be tested in courts? We have an appeal court. So what the NJC is doing is sending wrong signals to Nigerians to resort to self-help. Because the judgment was given in less than 4 days or 5 days. The NJC sat emergency sitting. What did they consider? The chief judge should be suspended. And don't also forget here, we have a major problem in our state. Have you also been told that the NJC wrote to the judges not to accept acting chief judge position? It's unheard of. Abia State, next door, have been operating acting chief judges. When your tenure expires because the constitution says you're not renewable, somebody else is appointed.
If the NJC wrote that letter, have they acted out of their purview?
But it is. They have. It shows bad faith. If a governor decides to appoint an acting chief judge, by the Constitution, which you also read there, it is the duty of the governor to appoint an acting chief judge. Nothing stops him to appoint an acting chief judge. And you see, the governor is the governor of the state for today. And having had a history of what is happening in the state, where 5 is greater than 27, it also shows that he has to be serious.
You know, one would have also thought that, because you've pointed out to the judgment of Justice Akambi, one would have thought that when that judgment came out, the executive arm of government would have written back to the NJC saying, we have this judgment, would you kindly recommend another person for us to appoint as chief judge of the state? That's what we would have thought would happen. But it would seem that the governor bypassed the NJC and just went straight. It does show that there is some interest there, is there more to it than meets the eye?
Let me put it this way. If you're a litigant and a judge says you own the house, do you go back to anybody to ask for conveyance? That judgment itself is a document.